All right, you guys. Me, Kendra Miller. A lot of times when God has a prophet, when it's a real prophet, to prophesy over your life, a lot of times when he give you a prophecy of something he's going to do in your life, a lot of time he will also warn you as well and correct you in the prophecy as well. I hope I explained it right. But it was a couple of years ago. I got invited to this church by this lady that I was working with. She was my assistant teacher. I was the lead teacher of the classroom, and she was my assistant teacher in the class. And I had, just started working at this job. Just met her. We didn't know each other like that, anything like that. But I had been there for like 2 weeks or whatnot. And she invited me to her church. So I had went there to the church. Matter of fact, I only went, I think one time, twice. I might have went just twice. I think I went twice at church. And I think the second time that I went 2 Sundays in a row. The second Sunday that I went to the church, I remember sitting at the back of the church. My mind was just, I don't know. I just know the pastor was prophesying of a lot of people or whatnot. So I was just sitting there, just in my own little zone, just to myself. And so he said, "Hey, you." He said, "Come here." I'm looking all around. Everybody's looking back like, "Who is he talking to?" He said, "Yeah, you right there." Back there with the red, because at the time, what I think I had like a red, I don't know, I had on something, whatever he called out, whatever I had on, the color shirt that I had on. And he said, "Yeah, you, come here." And I was like, "Oh my God." So I went walking up to the front of the church. And I was like, "Oh Lord, what is this man about to say?" I was like, y'all, I was in fear. Like, I ain't know what the man's going to say. Like, oh Lord. Went up to the front, gave me a prophecy. And it was so accurate because this man did not know me. I only visited church one time, that one Sunday. Then I went back that next Sunday. That was my second. He didn't know me. Of course, the lady, she knew me from work, but we only knew each other for 2 weeks because, I had just been working there 2 weeks. So she didn't know me personally. She didn't know anything about me. So I knew what he was saying about my life, about my past, from my childhood up into, that point, that he was making the prophecy. Like, everything was so accurate. And, but it was something else he said to me too. Like, what he was saying that would take place, it was something I had been praying for, something I had been kind of like, oh my God, wondering how the situation would play out and how it would work out. And he was letting me know, he was reassuring me, God was reassuring me through him that it was going to work out okay. Everything's going to be all right. But he also said to me as well that God is not only going to be working on the individual, but there's some things that you need to change too. You need to forgive. You ain't all the way together either. So while God is going to be working on that individual, he got to do some work in you as well. And I was like, okay. So while I say this is this right here, a lot of times now you have pastors and prophets, and not all of them, but just the ones who, some of them are called by God and some of them are not called by God. But either way it goes, God is not going to just give you the good part. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to just prophesy the good part to get your flesh all jumpy and feeling all good. God sometimes is going to rebuke your flesh as well. God is sometimes going to say some things to you that you're not going to like, that you're not going to want to hear in that prophecy too. But he's going to say some things too that you may not want to hear, that you may not like, but you need so that you can be able to really receive the prophecy that he's given to you, and to get yourself right and prepared for what he's prophesying of your life, so that when it comes to pass, you will be right. You know what I mean? And I keep talking about this because this is what the Holy Spirit has been working on me with this all day today. Like, this process that you're in, like, I know it don't feel good, and I know that I'm not the only one that may be going through this process or this season in their life where God is working something in you. It don't feel good. You know what I'm saying? But he's like, I have to do it. I love you. I have to do it. I have to do it. It's nothing that, you're doing wrong. You stand in your word, you're praying, and, you're doing what I'm asking you to do. But there's still some things hidden underneath the surface that I have to expose, so that I can fix it, so that I can correct it, so that when this thing that I promise you come, I need you to be able to operate in this thing to the best of your ability, with me putting my part, with me putting my super on top of this natural. I need it to work out right, because I'm doing this at my namesake. And God is not gonna mess up his good name, and he's not gonna let us mess it up either, So God is saying, I got to fix this. I have to get you right. I have to prepare you for this thing, I think about, Moses. Oh my God, thank you, Holy Spirit. I think about Moses. Moses had a little snappy, temper. He was snap. Moses don't kill the man. You know what I'm saying? He got mad and killed somebody. He had a little anger issue. You know what I mean? And he killed that Egyptian. Even though, he was protecting someone. He was protecting his people, the Hebrew, the Israelite. He was protecting them, and he killed a man and ran off for all those years into the wilderness. And in that time being out there, he was humbled out there in the wilderness. He was humbled out there in the place that he had ran to, that God had met, and God was able to work on him and to prepare him to go back so that he can lead a nation of people to freedom. See, when you have a big call on your life, God is not going to let you do it. When you got some stuff that, you got going on that will ruin it, He's not going to let you mess it up. So he going to fix your tail. And when I tell you, I forgot how many years it was, but it was a long time. Was it 40-something? Well, how many years? 40-something years or whatever. That Moses was out there. He had got married, had kids and everything, But God had to humble him and prepare him, because the mission that God had given him was big. And see, Moses had no idea that this was something that God was going to use him for. He didn't know until he saw the burning bush, and then God called him and told him what to do. But before then, he didn't know that God had a purpose on his life that big. He didn't know that. But see, God knew. And the same thing with us. When God has a big call on your life and a big purpose on your life, He will humble you. He will take you through a season of separation and isolation so that He can work some things out in you. So that when it's time to release you, you will go in that sucker operating in your calling with the Spirit of God on your life, and you will do it in excellence. So if you in this, so like it goes back to what I was saying. So when God give you a prophecy about something He's about to do in your life, if that prophet was chosen by God, they're not gonna just prophesy the good part, but they're gonna also prophesy the part where, listen, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to fix, and that's to let you know that, okay, God's about to take you through a season of fixing you, working some things out in you. Don't reject it. Go through it.